morning and happy Thursday. It is gloomy and cold out today. We have officially hit a bit of like a cold snap here and I'm freezing. It is 46 currently, but yesterday I think it got up to like 70 something, so this weather is really messing with me. If you guys saw my last video, it was regarding the letter we got in the mail from our insurance company, which was Blue Cross Blue Shield. And it was them stating how they were no longer, as of January 1st, going to cover any weight loss medications like Zepbound, Wegovy, Saxenda, and those types of things. And I had read all the comments, and some people were saying that they have Blue Cross Blue Shield in other states and they haven't received anything. Other people were saying that they got similar letters, or some people were saying that they got that letter all the way back in June. Someone said that they have received that letter, but they called their insurance company, and the insurance company said that no, you just have to redo the prior authorization again, and that type of thing. So I called my insurance company yesterday, and I did leave an update comment in that video, and I pinned it if you want to go back and see. But I did call the insurance company yesterday, and they basically told me that no, as of January 1st, Blue Cross Blue Shield as a whole, doesn't matter what state, as a whole, is getting rid of the coverage of weight loss medicine. Now, that doesn't mean that if you have Blue Cross Blue Shield, you won't be able to get it, because as of right now, it's going to be completely up to your employer or whoever it is that picks your plans for you. So in this case, my husband's company, the company he works for, they have to be willing to include it into their yearly premium. So when they're doing open enrollment, they're going to need to go ahead and add the coverage for weight loss medications. So she wasn't able to tell me if the reason why our coverage was ending was because his employer is not adding that into next year's premium. She tried to look it up, and she said that as of right now, it doesn't look like anything has changed. It just looks like Blue Cross Blue Shield is doing away with the weight loss medications. She did say, unfortunately, she's seeing more and more companies are deciding against it because of how expensive it is, and because the insurance companies are making it essentially harder and more expensive for companies to include it into their package for their employees. So she said that she has received a lot of these same phone calls, and that unfortunately it is something that a lot of insurance companies are doing away with. I did ask her if we would be able to, on our own, as individuals, choose a plan outside of my husband's employer, and pay, as individuals instead of like with a group, if we would then be able to select to put the coverage on there. And she said no. She said commercial policies and individual policies, they don't allow the coverage of weight loss medicine. It has to be through a group policy, which is through an employer, and they have to specifically put the coverage for weight loss medications on their plan during open enrollment. So, yeah. So there's literally nothing we can do. She did say something, and I want to hear your guys' opinions on this. But I was basically, while she was looking stuff up, we were just small talking, and I was saying how the loss of this coverage is going to change so many people's lives, unfortunately, for the negative. And how, you know, not only have we both lost almost, you know, 90 pounds on this medicine in less than a year, but it's helped with mental health as well. And how, you know, this is, again, going to negatively impact people who have been on this medication. And she was saying how, you know, as someone who works for insurance, she can understand both sides. She can understand how insurance companies don't want to pay for it because there are other options available, like nutritionists and things like that. And also how, you know, this medicine is not FDA approved and it's so expensive and all these things. And how, you know, it's up to the individual for weight loss. And that the medication obviously just gives that extra boost that you need. And so I was curious to see what the majority of people's thoughts were on that. I have my own opinions. And I think I have a good, like, variety of opinions because I've been on both ends. I've been on the end of trying absolutely everything to lose weight for years and years and years and years and years, being morbidly obese, even getting weight loss surgery, and it not working. And then I've been on the end of taking this medication for 10 months and losing 88 pounds and being at the lowest weight that I've ever been in my adult life, mentally feeling better than I have in my adult life, feeling like my food addiction is diminished, that I'm healing my relationship with food, that I'm living my life again as a 31-year-old woman. I have that side, you know, that experience on my side as well. So I personally believe that insurance should cover this medication because it's helping with much more than just weight. At least in my case, and in, you know, a lot of other cases that I've read about and have talked to people about and things like that. So I personally think that they should cover it. Do I think that it does need the prior approval? Do I think that it does need some sort of criteria met to give it to people? Yes, because we don't want people who don't need it to abuse it, because there are unfortunately people that are strictly just using it to lose 5 to 10 pounds. And I'm not one to judge how you lose your weight as long as it's like the healthy way. But I would hate for the people who don't truly need it to help keep them alive, really, to be taking it from people who do need it. Kind of like what we were in, the situation we were in when we were having the shortage. So just like with anything in life, I do think that it should be offered to people, but to the people that truly, truly need it. That's my opinion. So that's people who have an excessive amount of weight to lose, people who have diabetes, people who have high blood sugar, people or pressure, people who have PCOS, people who have, you know, food addiction and, you know, things like that, like heart conditions, lung conditions, mobility issues. Like, those are the types of people I believe should get help and have the coverage for it. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. You know, there are people that believe, nope, you've got yourself into this mess, get yourself out. And I understand the tough love aspect of things, but I think that there's a way to make all of that coexist into one thing. And yeah, and obviously, just like anything else in this world, this shot, this drug is not a magic pill, a magic much medication. You know, I got on the scale this morning. Oh, excuse me. I got on the scale this morning and I was back up to 218.6. And my lowest so far has been like 216, I believe, or 216 point something. And I know why. I know it's because when I was back home for my sister's wedding, which, by the way, I can't believe it's been a week already since she got married, I indulged so much, especially in sweets. And I can feel my body craving the sweets, even though I'm still taking my medicine. I took it, you know, when I was back home. I took it last night. I can feel my body craving it a little bit, and I can feel my body a little bit more swollen. My mood and my anxiety has been a little bit worse. My fatigue has been horrific. Excuse me. I definitely have found, even with taking the medication, that I'm struggling a little bit more to say no to those foods because I indulged in them so much last week. I also am due to get my period tomorrow, actually. So I'm very curious to see if that comes true, because that is kind of usually what happens to me. Usually the week before my period comes, I'm like a never-ending pit and not satisfied and just constantly hungry and more tired and, you know, all that stuff. So I am curious to know if I start my period tomorrow. But basically what I'm trying to get at is that even though I'm taking my medication, I still am having to work towards losing this weight. You know, I've been on it for, let's say, 10 months now, since the end of January. And I will say my weight loss has significantly slowed down. I think I mentioned this in one of my previous videos, most recent previous videos as well, that I typically was losing about a pound and a half to 2 to 2.5 pounds a week. And now, for the last several months, I kind of have just been teetering back and forth between like 5 to 10 pounds. And so I would say that, you know, there are some things I need to start switching up. I need to start incorporating real exercise, not just walking. And I really need to look, because this whole time I haven't been counting my calories. I've just been watching what I'm eating, making smarter choices, moving my body a little more than I would have, watching my portion size, but I haven't been actually counting calories. So as of right now, what it seems like is happening is it seems like I am probably eating in a maintaining deficit rather than like a losing deficit. So I do need to count my calories for a week, see where I'm at, and adjust it accordingly. And then obviously having the last few months having some indulging weeks, and September was basically like an entire indulging month, that has slowed my progress as well. I am picking up what I believe is going to be my last box of the 5 milligrams. And I've told you guys from the beginning that I am not afraid of moving up in dose when I need it. And up until this point, I haven't really haven't felt like I needed to move up. I still 100% fully don't like think I need to move up a dose. Oh, I'm so sorry. Especially because I've heard a lot of people say that once they get past the 5 milligrams, they really feel like nothing has changed much. And I've had such great success on 5 milligrams, but because of the insurance issue we're about to be facing, I have, let's see, I think I have 1 pen left in my 5 milligram box right now, and then I have another 5 milligram box, and then I'm picking up my last 5 milligram box today. So I will technically have like 2 months worth of 5 milligrams, and then I'm going to put an order in for a 3-month supply of the 7.5. And that way I just have it, especially if our insurance changes or whatever happens. I will have that 7.5, but I still will have 2 months worth of the 5 milligram. So I think between focusing on what my calories are going to be over the course of the next few weeks and trying to incorporate some more movement and exercise back into my routine, I should hopefully start to consistently lose again. And then if I don't, then I'll have the 7.5 ready to go, and hopefully that'll help kick my body back into overdrive, because I really would like to get down to that 100-pound mark down, which for me would be 206 by the end of the year. I really wanted to get down to the 199, but I just don't think that that's a realistic goal for how my body is currently losing the weight. We're already kind of mid-ish November, and I don't want to force myself to lose, essentially 18 pounds in the next month and a half, because I don't think that would be healthy for me mentally or physically. So that's kind of just where I'm at. Probably going to start counting my calories as of Monday for the week and see kind of where I am at. Maybe I'm eating more than I think and adjust it from there. I used to count calories years and years and years ago, so I'm hoping that it'll just kind of be like second nature and come back, and it won't be difficult for me to do. I think it actually will probably be pretty easy, because usually during the week I eat the same exact thing for breakfast, snack, and lunch every single day. So really I'll just have to count the calories once for each of those things and then weigh everything out, and then I won't have to worry about it. It'll be dinner every night that I'll have to like specifically weigh out and count the calories for, since it'll be a different dinner every single night. So that is my plan. And I have, I think you guys have seen them before in previous videos, I have 2 little weights. I have a yoga mat, have endless YouTube videos, so I think I'm just going to try to start incorporating a little bit of just something. That's one thing my doctor really has told me this entire time, is that walking is wonderful, walking is great, people do lose weight from walking and all these things, but you really also need to focus on building muscle, because with this medication and with losing weight so quickly, not only do you lose fat, but you also lose muscle, and that's one thing we don't want. So he's been telling me this whole time, really need to start resistance training of some sort. He even said that if I wanted to continue with the walking, that I could just get a weighted vest. He was like, at least that way it'll give you a little bit of resistance. But I don't currently have the money to be spending on other things like that. And we don't have our gym membership anymore. We just weren't using it, and it was a waste of money and all that. So yeah, I think I'm just going to use what I have at home, which again are my little weights. I do have some resistance bands at home somewhere. I'll have to find them. I think they're in my garage somewhere. But just got to set up a little part of my house, even if it's like a 30-minute video, and also do my movement and count my calories and see if that helps kickstart things into moving along again. But there's my little rant about insurance companies and how I feel, and I'm very curious to know how you guys feel. Leave in the comments, converse amongst yourselves, but please be respectful, as I know that this is a sensitive subject for a lot of people. And that's kind of my plan moving forward. So I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow, probably sometime this weekend. I'll update you if I get my period. Have a good Thursday.